Hello and welcome everybody to Pop Science. And this week you're presented by scientist Raquel and my trusty colleague
Scientist Dan. Hi there guys.
So we're going to be doing or uploading 3 experiments this week. And the first one is called the Amazing Water Trick. And Anne is just going to do the health and safety with you.
Hi guys, right, this is the most important bit of the experiment, I do have to say. So guys, you need to make sure that you've got some responsible adult with you at all times to make sure that you're safe. And make sure that if you spill any water anywhere, especially on the floor, that you mop it up. That's a really big safety. We don't want any bumped heads, we don't want anybody in A&E. Please make sure that you wear lots of protective clothing because these might be able to stain clothes or anything like that. So if you've got like an apron that you can wipe down or something like that, that would be absolutely fantastic.
Yep. And one thing I did forget is just be aware of using hot water. Just make sure it's not going to burn you. So it's hot water, not scalding water. Yep. So the next part of this, so for this experiment, the Amazing Water Trick it's called, what you're going to need is, let me just get them for you, is 2 identical jars. So baby food size would be perfect. Some cold water, we've put ours in jugs. Some squares of wax paper. Now we're using baking parchment, works just as good. A sink or a pan for if it does go wrong, it catches it in it and water doesn't go everywhere, which it might do. Hot water, some food colouring red and blue, and some scissors for cutting baking parchment out, and parents for assistance. So I shall pass you over to my lovely assistant.
Right guys, so like mentioned before, we have the jars here. To make sure that these jars are filled really full to the top. So you might need a baking tray underneath or something that you can catch the water in. Might be advisable if you're doing it is to have it actually the water nearby, because we don't want any spills on the floor while you're taking it actually from the sink to the baking tray. So we'll have a go. So first you fill the ones right to the top, like that. Right, so these now are actually both full of cold water. So now, no matter which colours is it really?
Well, there's red.
Right, so you've got your red food colouring. This is by Sainsbury's, but you can get them from any local supermarkets. Blue, red and blue.
So what Anne's doing now is adding the red food colouring and the blue food colouring to each one of these jars. One needs to be at water. Yeah.
Right, so which?
Yeah, so...
How many dots? How many?
Just a tiny bit, just so that'll do. And then if is that the hot water one? You might need a hot water one on.
This one supposed to be full of hot then?
Yeah, so if you pour that out.
Right. Make sure this is not scalding, we don't want any burnt fingers or anything. Right to the top. Some blue. There we go. Right, so this is your wax paper. Probably get it from the same place to get the food colouring from, I think.
Yeah.
Right, so you make sure it's big enough to cover the top.
So yeah, just be aware that this might spill on your first attempt. So just be wary of that.
Right, there we go. Right, so get over that. You manage which side it's up.
No.
Right, so the red one's got the cold water in.
So what we're doing here, folks, with this wax paper or baking parchment, what we're using, is it's got to be stuck on all sides. Because when Anne tries it, in a minute, this is where it might go wrong, is slightly press your fingers on, just on those two on, so, or just like that, and tip it. Yeah. Now if Anne's done it right, she should be able to hold the top and take her hand off the bottom. Right, straight away. Right?
There you go.
And it does that. Now what Anne needs to do now, while she's doing it, so I'll talk, is place that directly above that one. So they line up. Yeah. Put it on top and line it up perfectly on. So I'll just pause it there, because the question I'm going to ask now is, what do you think will happen between the two liquids? So will they mix together? Will they stay the same? Will it form a new colour? So just pause your camera or your YouTube video and just see what happens. So now Anne's going to attempt to move the paper but line them up at the same time.
Right, here goes. This is why you need adult supervision.
If you're struggling, Anne, I can do it if you want. No, no.
No,
You've got it. Right, do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, let me turn my camera around like that. So with this, we've got to try not to get creases in it. So if I hold it on, this might be simpler, and you slowly pull that piece of paper out. Yep. Yep, that's it.
There we go. Always helps to have two people doing this, guys. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
So there you have it. They're both mixed together.
Look at that. Did you get the question right? You'll be able to check. What did you put?
Yep. So the next one we're going to try. So if I can get some more, let me pour these in the sink. And let's not get everywhere. So the next one we're going to try, so Anne is going to do the same again with two more glasses, but do it in reverse. So she's going to put the red or the hot water at the top and the cold at the bottom. Right, if it's not warm enough, put a bit more hot water in.
Well, that's the cold, so we'll put the cold in first.
Yeah.
Let's check that's warm enough.
Try a bit more hot water. We don't want it scalding. We just want it warm enough to get what we want to achieve here. Yeah, that should be fine.
Right, so that's going to go on the bottom, yeah?
Yeah. So same procedure as last time. but this time we're putting the cold jar at the bottom. So I'm just going to move this cold jar over here. So, and Anne's going to add yellow in this one. Only a couple of drops. I don't. And blue in the other one. Yeah.
Right, so cut another piece of wax paper off. Not too big, is that all right?
No, that's fine.
Right, so we put it on.
Do you want me to do this bit so you can pull the paper out?
Yeah.
Right, so same as before. So what we're doing is picking that up, make sure it's all stuck to the top. So I'm going to place my fingers there, turn it over, and then it should
Fabulous.
hopefully
Look at that, guys.
stay there. So I'm going to place this on top of the other jar. Just let me adjust my camera. So now the question is again, are the colours going to mix, stay the same, or what is going to happen? So pause it for a few seconds and just have a guess. So go on then, Anne, the all important.
Right. Hey presto, look at that.
And as you can see, the colours aren't mixing at all. So the science behind this experiment is, do you want to explain it, Anne?
Right, so you've got to think about the coloured water. So the first one mixed and the second one didn't. So when the water's heated, the water particles, molecules, start moving around faster. So you can have a look, maybe Google or have a look, see what you mean by molecules. Have a look at how they work as well. They bounce off each other and they move further apart. So they create more distance between them. Because there's more distance between them, there's less of them in a given volume of water as compared to particles, which are molecules of cold water in the same amount of water. This makes hot water less dense or lighter than the cold water. So when you put the hot red coloured water glass on top of the cold green coloured water glass, the colours did not mix because the hot water, being lighter, stayed on the top and the denser cold water stayed at the bottom. So there you go. So have lots of fun with this, guys. Make sure you have a responsible adult. It will take 2 of you to do this. And we hope you've learned a lot today. What do you think, Raquel?
Yeah, it's gone fantastic. Thank you, Anne. And as you can see, it is still, or it's only just started to turn green. So yes, there you have it, folks. The amazing water trick. Bye.